Good morning. Good morning, Friday. Good morning, jewelry people. Good morning, Christmas people. I almost didn't make it today, but I persevered. I have not been sleeping very well, so you get froggy, groggy me today with my coffee, my German Shepherd mug that my friend Dale got me. Gotta have my coffee today. My hubby's been out of town, and evidently, he doesn't usually ever go out of town, and evidently, I don't sleep well when he's not here. So, of course, we have a wood burning stove that keeps our house warm, and he usually tends to that. Well, it's really cold, so I have to, that's on my mind to do that. So I wake up sometimes and take care of that. Sometimes I just let it go out. Hey, there's Miss Tina, my faithful Tina. I was just saying, Tina, you get froggy, groggy me today. I was up around 1:30. I was like, okay, if I can't sleep, what can I do? So I did projects. I painted my sled. I have an old sled. Morning. I have an old sled that was just drabby brown and rusty. Cool. But it was like, So I painted it. I'll post a picture of it later. It looked pretty cool. So I let it dry. I added two colors, like a rusty brown and a rusty brown red and a red. And of course the wood soaked in the paint, and I added a little white, which kind of turned it pink. So I'm going to add a little bit more white. When I take it outside, I'll put lights around it and I'll take a picture of it and show you the before after. It turned out pretty nice. So I'll show you what I got on today. It dawned on me eventually I'm going to run out of things to show you new out of my closet because I will have shown you everything. So I'm kind of stuck on these plastic Hobby Lobby specials. They kind of go with everything in there. It's Christmas, so I feel sparkly and celebratory. So I've been wearing those. And then this is a piece that I made of a wrapped piece that I made. I had a metalsmith lady had a class in Inglewood, and she still has a shop there, and it was a lot of fun. I wanted to do it to see if it was my thing, and yeah, I don't have the patience to do it. It's very I could do it if I was in a class. You can see I can do it. It's just not it's just not my style. But maybe it's yours, and I have to say I appreciate when people make them because it's a lot of work. And this one's sterling. I don't even know what the stone is. If anybody knows what the stone is, they can type it in the chat. It's a pretty black. So I took my double chain and I double chained it to wear it it would look nicer probably if it was up here. So, and then here's my wrap that I have on today. I have some beautiful clasp seed beaded. It's a dainty little black and red seed bead. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? That was a fun project. I like that. I'm not a real seed beater, but I do like that little project. It's fun. You do use quite a bit of um, crystals in it, and it seems to be a little twisted or something here, but it's a fun bracelet. And then I put on my um, this is my aluminum one. I have aluminum and a steel one. I was going to make a sterling one way back, and I wish now I had because it would have been like a third of the cost. But I didn't. And this one I wasn't as tickled with the aluminum when I got done. It's very lightweight. Um, it, it just, I guess because I'm used to meaty beads and things, it feels lightweight. And then, of course, my braided one, and then the one I've shown before that I took a class. And this is my sterling piece. And we made our own clasp on it. See that cool clasp where it jumps on there? Has a loop on one end, hook on the other, and you just hook it. We just bent the end. We made it with wire. So that was a fun. So I only got 4 on today. Usually I wear 3 or 5. So I missed one. Must not have found something I liked. I went and pulled the drawer open, and I'm like, I need a better way to put my bracelets so I can scope them. So I'm wearing them in a fashion that I like. And I don't really wear them on both arms. I usually wear them on one arm. I used to be a watch wearer, so we don't wear watches like we used to because we got our phone. And, well, since we have our phone, we just look at our phone instead of a watch. I do wear some of my watches, though. I do love my watches. How's Miss Tina today? There's me chatting. Make sure you can hear me. Miss Tina is up on the lake, and she showed me some beautiful pictures of that snow up there on the lake. And wow, that looks like that's cold air comes across there. But it was beautiful to see. I appreciate her sending me those pictures. So I'm going to show you what I was working on yesterday. I'm actually in a little bit of joint pain today because of what I worked on, but I was working with steel wire, and steel, you really do have to work with so if I were to make these pretty regularly, I would get them toughened up a little bit. But I just wondered what you thought about these. Let me show you my table and see what you think about them. I talked to my hubby about them since he is a welder. I told him my complaints about them because while I like the look, I like the look a lot, they are going to still be scratchy right there at that tip. So these are old coins. I had made a post of let's work with some old coins. I just crisscrossed them on the back. This isn't the best. This was just me playing around, and I resin that, which isn't very pretty. But I wanted to see what this might look like. I shined the coins up with steel wool. Don't they have some neat designs on them? And this one was hard to pick. I liked both sides. Here I twisted the wire in the back, and that was fun. Here's this one, see, it's really loose. I tried to curl them in, and when you curl them in, they don't get you, but then the coin can turn, and I kind of want the coin to stay stationary. But isn't that an old coin? This is a half penny from Jamaica. 1906 it looks like. 1906. If I'm reading that right. Let's see what year is on this one. This one is 1944, and this one says Español. So would that be Pesta? This one here. This one's really cool. It's got an eagle on it, but it's like really worn off. But it was just enough that you could still see it, which makes the eagles stick out. I don't know what year that is. It looks something 61. And then I was trying to do this one with like a bird wrap, like a bird nest wrap. And then I could solder around the edges. I don't know if I like that one. I like these because it highlights the coin. I just don't like how those points. Now, Zane said they'll probably get caught on things, so you would have to wear it really up high and really not like be careful if you wore a sweater. So I don't know. We'll work on those some more and see what we can do. Maybe if I used the craft wire, it would be better. What do you think, Tina? This is steel wool that I used. I like the color of the steel wool because it's, smoky. Makes it look more organic. I like the organic style. So that's the coin experiment. I like those. I'm not ready to sell those yet because and look at all these cool coins I got. Some of them do have holes in them. I did find a valuable one. It was a Civil War coin. Look at some of the shapes are really cool too. I don't want to look how teeny that one is. Is that cool or what? It's a 5 something. But look at some of the shapes. I like the shape on that. And I just steel wool them. Like look at the face on that one. Isn't that cool? Some of them, they're hard to pick which side I want to do. A lot of them have animals on them. This one looks like a fish. Looks like a whale. Very cool. I wanted to show you some of those others, but they look like they're at the bottom of the jar. But see if you can see them. Like, see that one's square. Look, that one's got like a scallop edge. They're very cool. Look at that teeny one there. There's big ones, teeny ones. I took all the ones that were more like that's not a coin. That's just a commemorative coin. I took all the foreign ones and ones that I really like to put them in this jar. So I have a whole bag of them yet. Some of them are too big and bulky, I think. But some people like bulky. You know, if you want a real big statement piece. So I'm going to work on that project and see how that can turn out. Today I thought I'd do a pair of earrings. A friend of mine had one from Humble Beads, a coupon, and she sent it to me. And I got to pick out what I wanted. So I picked out these cool looking birds. Humble Beads makes these awesome down to earth looking, nature looking leaves. Here's some of the leaves that I got with it. Leaves, and I'd actually got these little beads. I forgot I had these beads. Leaves and the beads. Now the beads she didn't make, but she makes the leaves. No, she doesn't make these leaves, I don't think. She makes the birds. She does make some beads. I didn't get any of the beads, but look at these cute little beads. Doesn't that go well together? But I'm going to go a different route today with these beads. I want to show you and make a pair of earrings because I want to make these special. My friend got these, and when I saw these, and I bought these specifically to go with these birds because I want to keep them. My friend made them, got them, wanted me to have that, and I want to keep them in memory of them. My stepmom was always like that, and so I got me some pins, head pins, and got me these beautiful. This is what kicked it off. This denim blue with that gold. I was like, oh, that's it, that's it. And then this is a dangle at the bottom. The blue, gold, and yellow. I think that's very pretty. So let's get to making a pair. I'm going to cut the ends of these off because we're going to add that yellow bead to the bottom. I just look at these new clippers I got, man. They are raring to cut. My other ones, I had to put them out to pasture. They were done for it. Thanks, Tina. Tina said, great coins. Aren't coins fun? So we're going to take my little teeny mini round nose pliers, and we're going to make a hook at the bottom. And I think I'm going to go, because these look like they have a little bit of thickness to them, and I'm going to make me a shepherd's hook. You see me make a zillion of these. After a while, you get really good at it. So I'm not going to quite close it up yet because I'm going to put this beautiful yellow crystal at the bottom. And I want it big because I like a little bit of movement when you make a little charm dangle. It's a charm dangle. I want to make sure that's closed up. But you want to be careful here is that you don't squeeze that too tight and crunch your crystal. And it doesn't want to, I think there's a little piece of, let me fix this. It looks like there's a little burr on the end of that. I'm going to cut that little burr off because the burr is keeping it from shutting. So I'm just going to nip that end of that nip and then see if I can shut it up. I might have to start over because, yeah, I'm going to have to start over because I cut it enough that it just needs to be a little bit bigger. That's okay. That's what happens when you make jewelry. I see my friend Kathy came on. Kathleen Jepson. Is that Kathleen? Is that the Kathleen I just met? No, that's a different Kathleen. Welcome, Kathleen. Tell us where you're from. Are you from the north, south? I'm from the Midwest, and I just love to make jewelry. So I got me a hobby, and I am just passing on the stuff that I learned. And I like to have people on here to pass on what they're learning. Let's see. I'm going to put this on here. This is premium crystal. I was trying to, they don't want you to use the word Swarovski, so I thought I'll just use Voski. This is a Voski bead. It's a Voski bead. Doesn't that sound important? Like a Voski bead. Some people call it premium crystal. Some people still say Swarovski. I hear them say it. And it's just kind of rude that they don't want you to say the word. I don't know why. They don't want to help the DIYers, and that just seems, very odd to me. We're still going to be using it. So that does not look closed, but it is closed because for some reason there is still a little burr on the end of there, but we're good. So now I'm going to see if I got a little movement in there as much as I like, and I do. So now I'm going to add this beautiful denim bead. So I had a little lotion on my hands. So if you just take these Voski beads, this beautiful denim blue Voski bead, and stick them on here. So what do you think of that, Tina? My new name for the Swarovski bead. So now we got a little dangle, and it's all shiny. They do leave a little bit of fingerprints. So I think now, let's see, let's add the pretty rondelle. Let's say if we add the bead cap, sort of like for the little bird's nest. What do you think of that? And then put this pretty one on top. And then I'll put a seed bead on top. I'm loving that. But you know what? I hardly have enough to make a wrap at the top. Look at that. I don't have enough. So we're going to have to go a different route. And what I'm going to do, because I really want to do a wrap at the top, what we'll do, since we run out of space, no biggie, we'll just add that onto a jump ring. What do you think of that? Well, no, that's not going to work either because, no, that would work. That will work perfectly fine. What we're going to do is how about we just use a jump ring? Let's just get smarter instead of trying to wrap that. Let's get us a jump ring and put us a jump ring on there. What do you think of that? I think that's a better idea. Let's see if we can find a jump ring that will work for us. Sometimes you can't use jump rings in these because it's too big. Oh, and look at there. But we got lucky. Now it's not very fluid, but it's going to work. It's got a little bit of fluidity in it. Then we'll put it on the end of this ring here. Now I'm thinking, this is where design comes in. So you have to realize if I put that like that, we have it straight, then we're going to see that hook at the top. So let's see let's put it on there. Let's give it a go. Now that's a lot bigger hook than I really want it to be. So I'm gonna try to get rid of that end. The calipers are so sharp, they're like leaving a pointy end. And I'm gonna make this point a lot smaller, which sometimes you can undo your big one and make a smaller one. It's not as small as I'd like, but it's smaller than it was. Because I don't want a big shepherd's hook going, hey, look at me here, I'm over here. So I'm going to close that up. And I'm going to put this on here and see what this looks like. And that's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, this is we put the rondelle on. Then we put a little bird nest. Yes, that's much better. You know, I guess because I've cut so much off, I still don't have very much. So we're just going to have to make a loop at the top because there is not enough wire to make a wrap. What do you think? What I'm going to do is do the other one. And since I know what I'm doing now, I'm going to do the other one and see if I just maybe cut off too much that it's causing that. And maybe I can get maybe 1 or 2 wraps at the top. Why not? Right? So yesterday was 1 week till Christmas. We will be here the day after Christmas. I haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but we will be here. So I'm going to make a small loop, try to match the one that's on the other side. Add my little dangle. These are going to go great with a pair of blue jeans, t-shirts, black pants. I wear black pants a lot. Now let's put the rondelle on. Nope, we put that on. Put the rondelle. I do have an idea now. See, that's what happens if you design and then walk away. Oops, I forgot my little nest. Let's put my little nest in there. Bead cap. Gives it like a little nest effect. A big nest there would look nice too. I might have a big nest, but I like this one. I like the look of it. So what I can do now, these are my options. My option is to just make a loop at the top for my ear wire, or I could make a loop there and add this one to the top. That would make a really long earring, which I don't mind, but I kind of wanted to keep this size. So I think what I'm going to do is just add a little seed bead to the top. These are little wee seed beads. These got to be 15s. They're so little. Let's see if they even fit on there. Oh, look at that. They're so little. They don't even fit on the typical jump ring or head pin wire. Isn't that something? Well, they're not going to go very well, are they? We're going to scratch that. Why does anybody ever need that size bead? And it's too bad because that's a great, that is really a great color. I have to be clever on what I do with those. There we go. A little blue bead would look nice up there too. Wonder if I have any in my scraps. Just a little blue bead. That's a little too blue. Little too blue. This would be a pretty color with it, but it's too big. So, wonder what this would be. Doesn't mean I have a second one of this one if I find it, but that would work. That would work. So did you make many gifts for the holidays? I got some I'm shipping out today. And I'm not seeing one just like that. Sometimes I will actually throw multiples in here of that size, because knowing that I might dig in for something like this. But nothing is coming up. Coming up gold. Nope. I'll have to skip on that. We'll just have to go with this pretty gold. Pretty gold. Oh, you know what? Look at these here. These are a little bigger, but let's see what these look like. Never hurts to try. Go with a little bigger. Look at these. These are great colors. Let's see if that goes. What do you think of that? Too big? I'd like it a teeny bit smaller than that, but not bad. I'm going to scrap that. Let's see, what else do I got laying around here that might be like, yeah, that's it, that's it. That gold is pretty. It's a little big. Let's see what that looks like. I like the gold. The gold is it for me. So I got copper color in here. I got bronze, gold, and gold. I like that. Let's see if there's another one in there. That would be important, wouldn't it, to have a second one if I was going to use that? And I do. Lucky me, lucky me. Okay, so now to close this one off, I have to make I'm not going to be able to wire wrap it. I don't have enough. So I'm just going to make a loop. Do you think that's a wise decision? You know, maybe I'm old school, maybe I'm stuck in my ways, but I just want to wire wrap that top. So you know what I'm going to do, don't you? Okay, redesign. This is what design's all about. I'm going to take and use my looper, my 1.5 looper, and I am going to pull that through and make me a loop. Just can't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And then I'm going to make me another loop on the end of this one. Another head pin. Now that may be making this too long for anyone, but in my world, they're never too long. So they're just going to have a 3-tier dangle on them. I really like that they were closed together. And if I had had a 5-inch head pin, I could have done it. I could have done it. Let's see how this lays now that I got that on there. That's not going to be good. Let's see if the bird holds it well. Is the bird going to hold that well? Yes. I like that. That's for me. That is going to let me be able to wrap the end of that. I gotta close that little loop up there. But I like that. I think I liked it sitting on there better, but I think I like it wire wrapped best. What is your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts, Tina? Now I'm gonna have to make sure that these loops are all in the right direction so that everything's hanging properly. You know, you want that hanging that way. So let me make sure I got that going right for this one. You want this one way and that one hanging that way. So I wonder why they are very perfectly done. One's this way and one is that way. But when I dangle it, it seems to want to be hanging the wrong way. Let me hold it up and see. Nope, that's the way it should be. Scrunch that in. Sometimes I thought this is going to be very simple, easy peasy, and it has turned into a little bit of a, hey, what am I going to do design-wise? Let's think this through. Let's see how we can do this. I think I'm going to get in I really like these, but they're too tall, honestly. Oh, and look, I think I would like this in here too. I got these little spacers. I thought they were pretty. Let's see what we think of those. Yes, I like that. And I need one little, just the perfect smaller bead on top. Let's see if we like these on top. That one doesn't want to go through. How's that? I like. So we know that holding that direction is the way we want to go. So we want to push the wire to the left. Push the wire to the left. Make our bend. And I'm making it very small because all we're adding is the ear wire. You see I'm working off the tip. And I didn't leave very much room, but to just make a wrap or two because that's all we really have to make a wrap. So we got one. Let's see if we can get two in there. One. And that's all we're going to get, I think. Well, we got it to go around. It's pretty stiff. Yeah. Now we can just trim that little tail off and tuck it in. And we got our earring wire. We got our earring set. Isn't that pretty? I think the thing with beads that really get me is like sometimes when you're looking at beads have been traded forever and ever. And sometimes you're looking at beads and they're the only time those beads are made, you're not going to ever find that bead again. Now these here you can, like these are handmade. So, I mean, they're handmade. So if she quits making them, the only beads that are like that are the ones that are someone has bought, and then that kind of ends. If say, some of the bead stores have gone out of business and they're not around anymore, you don't get those beads anymore. So It's like sometimes you're getting the tail end of something that's beautiful that's not going to be anymore. So it's very hard not to collect beads, in my opinion. Oh, thanks, Tina. Tina said, I love your golden bird with the blue crystal. If you first succeed, try again. Yeah, so here is the first version that I had. And here's what we finally, I finally came up for my design. So let me get another ear wire over here out of my ear wire bin. I got to reach over to get it. And got to remember to add that little golden piece. So we can reuse that one by putting this on here. And we're going to use our loop, which all it's doing is making a shepherd's hook. And you just slide it in. There's a hole there. You slide it through that hole. You pull it so that it's taut, just gently. And this goes right up against that metal to get the same size as the last one. And you squeeze it, and it just automatically goes down and makes a shepherd's hook for you. Now, I can tell you right now that I did that incorrectly because it must not have been taut enough, because look how much space I have there. So I was thinking, like, can I pull that out and start it again? Probably not, but what I can do is normally I like to be uniform with the earrings, but I don't think because of where this is that it's as important. So I'm just going to straighten that wire out. Sometimes you can. I never recommend to do it the second time, but you can maybe try to get away with it once. That's kind of my motto. Now let's see if I can tuck that in there. See, it's not long enough. So what I'm going to do is just cut a little bit off before I have to, before I do it, and see if I can make it by hand. If I can make it by hand, then I don't really need to go to the machine, do I? Now, if I cut too much off and I can't get them to look uniform, then yeah, I do need to probably get a new wire and start all over. But it never hurts to give it a go and see if you can make your own loop. Now, what's important to me is, are they the same size? So I'm going to look, and they're very similar. Just trying to tighten that up. And now I'm going to take the other one, cut the ball off the end. It's a shame I have to cut those balls off the end because, I'm always trying to buy them with the balls. Now it seems like you can't find them with the balls on the end. You can only find them with the flat piece, which is fine. But when you're used to that, that's kind of what you're looking for. And for some reason, I can't find them in the 3 inches. I can find them in the 2 inches and the 1 inches, but I cannot find them in the 3 inches. And I always do 3 inches, probably because I do long earrings. I need a 3 inches. I need a 3 incher. So let's add this shepherd's hook to here. Close it up. And sometimes that little looper doesn't always give it the twist like a shepherd's hook on the back. So sometimes I just take my finger, hold it, and just give it a little bend. Like give it a little bend right there to get my shepherd's hook in there. This wire's stiff. My fingers are real sore from, I just give it a little dip. See that? Now it's got a little shepherd hook dip. All shepherd's hook have a little dip there. Now we're going to add rondelle, bead cap, our birdie, and a little spacer, a little gold spacer. This beautiful Swarovski bird bead. And then this beautiful little ribbed gold bead on top. Now we did about 2 wraps. Now it's important to make sure it's laying properly because we want to get when we get done, we want it to lay. Now see, that bottom piece is not laying properly. So I want to make sure. Wonder why that's turned like that. Well, let's just fiddle with it a minute. There we go. Now it's laying properly. So now I want to hold that good and then bend that over. And I don't even use my flat nose to bend because I don't have very much wire. So I don't want to take up much space. And there is a little trick when you get done. Say when you get done, it's still, not hanging properly. You can take both of your pliers in both hands and hold the loops on both ends and twist it. I'll show you even if I don't need to do it. And twist them so that you can get them to lay the way that they need to lay. Because that's super important that your earrings lay the way you want. Tuck this in. Voila! We got us some earrings. Now I'm going to be like, okay, I need to find a shirt to wear with that. So I was going to show you. So say that this isn't laying properly. Let's look and see if it is laying properly. It's still having a little twist in the bottom. I'm not quite sure why. It's twisting in the bottom. So what I do is, I want to close that up a little bit better. Right there. I got to be really careful because I don't want to mess with my Swarovski bead. There you go. Tighten that up. So, if I want that to lay properly, I hold that bead, and I'm just going to show you. I got the top of that one, and then this one, and then I twist them to get them to lay the way that you want them to, so that they lay nice and straight. What I want to see is that, are they laying the same way? That's interesting. This one's going back and forth, and that one's not. So I'm going to twist these, because I must have these off. So let's see if that fixes that. So that should be like that. There we go. All with a little bit of twist of the beads. Now these are very me. These are very organic. And the only thing I might do different is I might go back and string this and do a wrap here instead of having those double loops there. Too many loops in there for me. But that would, I think, be the only difference. And voila, there we go. Beautiful bird. I always have this little cloth to get my fingernail or fingerprints off because they shine so pretty. Aren't they pretty? Well, it's been fun hanging out with you, showing you some of my favorites. Since it was a holiday, I made myself a gift, and here it is. A gift, double gift. Gift from someone to gift to me for the holidays. I tried to think of how to put these in there, but it was just too much. I guess this could have gone nicely at the bottom of one of these, but I saw these at the same time with in a style that someone did, and I had to have them together. And I knew they would match my bird. They make my bird look more yellowish than gold, but that's okay. I like them very much. I thank my friend. Well, we're right on time. Look at that. I'm getting good. Well, you all have a very Merry Christmas. I'll see you the day after, and we'll make something fun then. Bye now.